Started. No, started. Okay. Hello, dear students. I'm meeting you online in my first class. Hope you are fine. It would be really very much pleasurable to meet you in our real classes, but as we have different kinds of problems, main problems is coronavirus. We have to do this online class. I am Professor Dipak Karmaker. Hope you are ready with your book. As you can see on the screen, we are going to discuss today Unit 14, Lesson 1, Art and Music. And in Lesson 1, we have this, what is beauty? This is the chapter, this is the lesson about beauty. We will know in detail about beauty. One should be aware of the fact that art is defined in terms of beauty always. Anyway, let us read the text and I'll try to explain whatever it seems difficult for you. Beauty is easy to appreciate but difficult to define. So it's said that you can appreciate means praise, you can praise beauty easily. I mean, everybody likes beauty, but if you're asked to define it, give a definition of it, it's really hard. As we look around, we discover beauty in pleasurable objects and sights. If you look around, if you see around you, you will find beauty in the pleasurable objects, like things which give us pleasure. For example, flowers, especially nature, flowers, trees, sights in nature, in the laughter of children. Yes, everybody loves children, especially when they laugh. So you can find beauty in the laughter of children, in the kindness of strangers. Yes, if you meet someone who is a stranger and he suddenly shows some kindness, love towards you, it has some beauty. But asked to define, we run into difficulties. As I said before, if someone is asked to define beauty, he will be in difficulty. Does beauty have an independent, objective identity? So you look at the words here, different words. You should know the meaning of these words. Like, does beauty have an independent? Independent means which doesn't depend on anything else. Objective. Objective means something true for everyone, not something personal, not subjective. Objective identity. Well, this does beauty have any independent? I mean, let me explain or give an example. For example, if I see a picture, I may like it or may not like it. I can say there is certain beauty in it, while the same picture, when it is viewed by someone else, he may see it in a different way. So what is beauty? Does it have any objective identity? I mean, can we define beauty in such a way? Let me explain in Bengali for you. সুবিধার জন্য বলছি, সৌন্দর্য কি এমন কিছু যেটা সবার জন্য একরকম অথবা এক একজনের কাছে এক রকম বোঝায়, এটি বোঝাচ্ছে সৌন্দর্য কি কোনো নৈর্ব্যক্তিক সত্তা আছে কিনা? Is it universal? Is it universal? I mean, something is beautiful for everyone. Is it dependent on our sense perceptions, or does it depend on our sense perceptions? As you know, the senses, five senses, we have uh, the five senses. So when we perceive through the senses, this is called sense perceptions. Does it lie in the eye of the beholder? Well, as Shakespeare said, beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder, which means beauty depends on your eyes. So if I see it in a particular way, I may see it in a particular way. We ask ourselves, a further difficulty arises when beauty manifests itself, not only by its presence. Okay, there is another difficulty, further difficulty. What is when beauty manifests, expresses itself not only by its presence, something beautiful is present, but by its absence as well. You know, sometimes beauty, some beautiful object is not present, but we can feel its presence of beauty, as when we are repulsed by ugliness. Repulsed in Bengali, when we feel বিকর্ষিত. Attracted, antonym of attract, repulsed. We are repulsed by ugliness. Something which is ugly, we see and we feel disgust and desire beauty. আমরা দেখতে চাই যেটা কুৎসিত, সেটাকে আমরা তার প্রতি আকর্ষণ বোধ করি। আর we desire beauty, but then ugliness has as much a place in our lives as beauty. Now, another important thing is we want beauty, we love beauty, but ugliness has also some place in our life. We cannot totally avoid it, or maybe more. But then ugliness as much as, which means ugliness is as much as in the same way, same amount of ugliness as there is the beauty. But sometimes ugliness, I mean ugly objects, if I can say this way, ugly objects can be more than the beautiful objects, as when there is widespread hunger and injustice in our society. For example, we have hunger and injustice online. Philosophers have told us that beauty is an important part of life. দার্শনিকরা বলেছেন integral beauty is an important part of life. But isn't ugliness a part of life too? There is a question, rhetorical question. Ugliness is also a part of life. And if art has beauty as an important ingredient, if art, beauty is an ingredient, important part of art, can it confine itself only to a perfection of beauty? Now, the question of art and beauty. Art is related to be very much, always you can find beauty in art. But can it confine itself, limit itself only to beauty? Can art ignore what is not beautiful? Is it possible for art to avoid totally what is not beautiful? Poets and artists have provided an answer by incorporating both in their work. Poets and artists, Shilpra, have given an answer by incorporating, including both in their work. I mean, beauty and ugliness. In doing so, they have often tied beauty to truth and justice. When they have done it, they have linked beauty to truth and justice. Beauty has been equated with truth and justice. Truth, shotto, justice, nay. So that what is not beautiful assumes a tolerable proportion as something that represents some truth about life. So they have done in such a way that what is not beautiful also they have some tolerable proportion, acceptable proportion, and as something that represents some truth about life. This also expresses some truth about life. John Keats, the romantic poet, wrote in his celebrated, famous Ode on a Grecian Urn. Ode on a Grecian Urn is the name of lyrical poem by John Keats. Beauty is truth, truth, beauty. So the meaning is clear. Sundari Shatto, Shatto is Sundar, by which he means that truth, even if it's not pleasant, becomes beautiful at a higher level. Now, beauty has a different kind of meaning here because even if something seems ugly, but if it expresses some truth, then ultimately it's beautiful. Similarly, what is beautiful forever remains true. On the other hand, if something is beautiful, according to Keats, of course, it's true. Another meaning in the context of the Christian urn, an art object, is that truth is a condition of art. So it is a condition of art. This is the message um, delivered through Grecian urn. Poetry in every language celebrates beauty and truth. In every language, poetry celebrates, means praises beauty and truth. So does art. Also, art. Here are two poems from two different times that present some enduring ideas about beauty and truth. So we get two poems from different times that present some enduring, means lasting ideas about beauty and truth. The poems are by Lord Byron, an English poet of the Romantic tradition, and Emily Dickinson, an American poet who wrote about the human scene, love and death. Dear students, um, we will read two poems, but before we read the poems, I will advise you when you read a text, what you need to do, first of all, before reading, try to find out the words or just take down the words, meaning of which you don't know. So, I mean, you will focus on the vocabulary. If you know the meaning of all the words in a passage, then it will be easy for you to understand that. And at the same time, if you focus on the words, it will enrich your vocabulary. As you know, you are studying, you are studying English, you were studying English. This is a continuous process, and you want to improve your English gradually. This process of improvement involves quite a few things. One of them is the enriching your vocabulary. So you read the text, especially focus on the vocabulary, new words. And if you are in your exam hall and you have to answer, then you also, if you know the meaning of the words, it will be very much easy for you to understand. Another important thing I will advise you to do is to look at the grammatical sides. For example, let me give you an example. Let us read the sentence. Poets and artists have provided an answer by incorporating both into their work. Now, you see, poets and artists. What is the part of speech? Poets, it's a noun like this. Have provided. We have two verbs, provided principal verb, and have the helping verb, auxiliary verb, an answer, noun again, and an article, my, preposition, incorporating. It's a gerund, you can say, both into their work like this. You should follow it, try to find out the points. It will help you also. Now let us read the poem. The poem is She Walks in Beauty by Lord Byron. She walks in beauty. She walks in beauty like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies. And all that's best of dark and bright meet in her aspect and her eyes, thus mellowed to that tender light which heaven to gaudy day denies. One shade the more, one ray the less, had half impaired the nameless grace, which waves in every raven tress, or softly lightens over her face, where thoughts serenely sweet express how pure, how dear their dwelling place, and on that shake and over that brow, so soft, so calm, yet eloquent, the smiles that win, that tints, that glow, but tell of days in goodness spent, a mind at peace with all below, a heart whose love is innocent. So this is the poem. She walks in beauty. First, let us try to see the different words, meaning of words. Dear students, you should take note of the fact a word may have different meanings. You should be aware of the context. You should try to use the word according to context. Do you know the context means, say in Bengali, you say Pushango context, okay? She walks in beauty. What does that mean? She walks in beauty. When she walks, she looks beautiful. Like the night of cloudless climes. The night, cloudless, a sky without cloud. Climes refers to country or place with a particular kind of climate. This is called clime. Like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies, skies full of stars. So she walks in beauty. When she walks, she looks beautiful. And the poet has likened or has brought an analogy, comparison. Beauty has been compared to the beauty that you find in the starry skies and also the night of cloudless climb. I mean, a night, a dark time when the sky is very clear, only there are stars, no cloud. There you may notice what is called contrasts, opposites, dark and light, dark. Night is dark, but there are bright objects in the skies like stars, luminaries. So her beauty has been compared to this beauty that you can find in the cloudless skies with stars. And all that's best of dark and bright meet in her aspect and her eyes. And all that's best, dark and bright, it refers to the first two lines again. Dark and bright, night, as I just said, night is dark and the stars are bright. The sky is lit, well lit with the light of the stars. All that's best of dark and bright. You may find beauty in this play of black and white, or you say dark and bright. And the best one, the best, highest beauty that can be seen in the dark and bright, meet in her aspect. You can see it in her aspect, means appearance, and her eyes, and in her eyes. If you look at her eyes, her appearance, you can see the kind of beauty which is the best of dark and bright. In a place where you have dark and bright, black and white, the best of it. Thus mellowed. Mellowed means softened, subdued, not harsh. Soothing. Soothing, thus mellowed to a tender light. Her beauty is not harsh. It is soft, tender, smooth, soothing, thus mellowed to that tender light. To that tender light. At night, you can see the light. This light is very soft, soothing to the eyes. Okay, which haven mean here the universe, skies, over haven to gaudy day denies. Day denies. Gaudy means too bright, harsh. So her beauty has been compared to the light, to the beauty of a night, the light of a night, not the light of day. And you see, in a daytime, we have the sun, scorching sun. If you look at it, it's so glaring, you cannot see it. So there is the contrast, day and night, day and night. Her beauty has been compared to the beauty of night, not of day. Heaven doesn't give that kind of tender light to the day. You can say also heaven refers to God also. Yes. So this is the meaning of the first stanza. Let me read it again. She walks in beauty like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies, and all that's best of dark and bright meet in her aspect and in her eyes, thus mellow to that tender light which haven to gaudy day denies. Okay, beauty, her beauty is being described, presented. Now, second stanza. One shade the more, one ray the less, had half impaired the nameless grace, which waves in every raven tress, or softly lightens over her face, where thoughts serenely sweet express how pure, how dear their dwelling place. Okay, one shade the more, one ray the less. One shade, the dark place. If the dark place, if the light is hindered, then you get a shade. The ray, the pointed, say a light when it is pointed, it's called ray. One line of light, this ray. One shade the more, one ray the less, had impaired the nameless grace. Now, when you read this line, is which easily brings to your mind the image of a work of art, or picture. In a picture, you see the artist draws a picture as beautifully as he can. Now, if you think of a perfect picture, so if you put just one single shade or ray of light may change it, may mar it, destroy the beauty of it. One shade the more, one ray the less, had half impaired. It's a poem. The language is poetic. So this had means would have. If the poet is talking about the beauty of the woman, the lady, the she here, one shade the more. If she is so perfect, according to the poet, she is so perfect that if there were, say, one just shade the more, one ray the less, slight change, it would destroy the grace. Grace means against some kind of nameless grace. Grace means beauty here. Excellence. Nameless. Why nameless? Because if you discover some beauty in anything, it's really difficult to say what it is. As has been said in the beginning of this lesson, that it is difficult to define beauty. Now, nameless, you cannot name beauty really. If you look at a flower, you cannot say what kind of beauty it is. You may find the beauty in the color, you may find the beauty in the shape, in the smell, everything. So it's difficult. This is why it's called nameless grace. Nameless grace. This is some abstract idea, not concrete. So one shade the more, one ray the less, had half impaired the nameless grace. So if there were just difference in this shades or ray light, it would. She's so perfect that any change in her appearance or anything would destroy it. Which waves in every raven tress. Tress means here hair or feathers like this. Which waves means here moves. Wave meaning when you see the say ocean, river, the water, the current flows up and down, going up and down. This movement, up and down movement, is the wave. The waves. Which waves in every raven tress. This nameless grace you can discover in the raven is a kind of crow, the big crow. You know. In Bengali, we say darkak, which waves in every raven tress. So the kind of it refers naturally. It refers to the woman's hair, which waves in every raven tress, or softly lightens over her face, or very softly, it's you can becomes visible in her face, where thoughts serenely sweet express, where thoughts serenely sweet express, in her through her face you can see serene means calm and quiet thoughts are expressed through her face. How pure, how dear their dwelling place. Now, if you look at the woman's face, you can see, you can just read some serene, calm, and quiet thoughts sweetly expressed. This is why one can imagine the thoughts reside in the heart here, according to we are reading some poem. We know thoughts are in the brain, but here we also have to think this way in the heart. So the woman must have very noble thoughts in her mind. She must be someone very noble. Dear students, we are at the end of our class today. Hope you have enjoyed, or please, when you watch this video,